This is Group 8, Non-Traditional Machining. Our topic is chemical machining. My name is Jose. My partners are Lucas, Jonathan, and Galvin. Starting off, what is chemical machining? It can be referred to as chemical milling. This is a manufacturing process that uses a controlled chemical reaction to produce complex shapes and intricate designs. The workpiece usually has a protective coating added to the areas that are not to be etched or milled. This is a workpiece. The workpiece is then typically submerged in a chemical solution that dissolves the unprotected surfaces of that specific workpiece material. It is then rinsed off to prevent any more etching or milling of the workpiece, and also the protective coating applied at the surface is removed. And this allows for intricate designs that are useful for thin parts and fine details with tight tolerances. Some of the advantages of this is that the ability to produce complex shapes and intricate designs on materials that would usually be impossible to do with other traditional milling methods. Minimal tool wear compared to traditional machining methods, as no tool usually has to come in contact with the workpiece as the chemical reaction etches into the unprotected surfaces. It can be done on a wide range of materials for a more versatile use, such as on very expensive alloys that would cost more money to do in other methods. Some of the disadvantages is that the removal rate of etching normal materials can be very slow sometimes. Environmental concerns, as using these chemicals can um, be very hard to dispose of. Also, safety concerns, as it requires special training, as the chemicals are very dangerous if not handled properly and used in the correct environment due to the fumes. The workpiece also might need more work done after the etching is completing, as it's not a very smooth process. And also, some materials might need to have a special chemical solution made for it to be working, or the chemical reaction could be dangerous or react in an unpredictable way.
Chemical machining, PCB boards. In chemical machining for PCB etching, you first have to create a circuit design to allow for a pattern to be applied to the copper-clad board. This pattern will be the outline for the protective coating. Insert the board in a chemical solvent like ferric chloride or sodium hydroxide. The chemical reaction will cause the unprotected copper to be removed or etched from the board and leave clean tracks behind. There are two types of methods. The acidic method is more corrosive, making it much faster, and it can etch a greater variety of materials. It is also very precise. It is also more cost-effective to use. The alkaline method is less corrosive, making it safer to handle. It is also less harmful for the environment, and you can control the etch rate better as it is less aggressive than acidic method.
Chemical machining is very active in the aerospace industry, where it consists of milling and is done using a strong acid or base solution in order to remove unwanted metal during the manufacturing phase. The main purpose of chemical milling is to reduce the weight of fuselage skins and other parts of the aircraft in order to improve its efficiency. The process involves coating the parts in film, as shown on the top picture, to allow acid or the solution to dissolve the unwanted areas from the metal, as shown in the middle picture, and the after pictures on the bottom. The aerospace industry operates under strict regulations where chemical milling can be used on materials as thin to a thousandth of an inch. The process does not use hard tools, so it results in stress-free and distortion-free components and exceptional precision. It is also low cost, so it only requires digital tooling with the ability of mass production for many different size parts, also making prototyping easier. And the process was known for being bad for the environment. However, with time, solvent collection has been developed, recovering up to 95% of the solvent which used to be emitted into the atmosphere.
Chemical machining can also be used in the automotive industry to create parts. Uh, Chemical milling is used for vehicle maintenance and manufacturing parts. It's used to remove any residue after manufacturing or cleaning. Example of this is parts made from titanium. Chemical milling provides an optimal way to remove materials from the surface in spots that would be harder to get at, and also in a very efficient way. Uh, the process for the automotive industry consists of a lot of steps to ensure that the parts are correctly manufactured. It's beneficial to the automotive manufacturing because it's a low cost and it's very efficient. It allows for easy removal of weights in areas that cannot be reached by other tools.